Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am still in San Francisco, California today. I'm on a work trip, but after work concluded today, all of my meetings, I had some time and I took the opportunity to go out to some stores and to smell some perfumes that I'd been wanting to get my nose on, sample a few things. I also got the chance today to smell DIORIVIERA, the new fragrance from Dior. Uh, Signed by Francis Kirkjohn, the first one he's done for that house. So if you want to hear my thoughts, then stick around. So I checked this one out at Neiman Marcus in downtown San Francisco, where they have like a standalone Maison Christian Dior fragrance lineup counter. Um, and they had all of the collection out, and this one was kind of in a, had pride of place at the end. And they had these little cards made up, which were very nice. They're like a linen textured, semi-matte, semi-glossy thing. Okay, so what do I get from this? It's exactly as it's marketed. It's a fruity, floral, fig, green, aquatic fragrance with some of those kind of signature Francis Kirkjohn laundry musks kind of propping them all up. I will say that when I sprayed it in the store, immediately I kind of recoiled because it was very perfumey and sharp. I don't know what would have been lending that character to it, but it was definitely kind of something where I didn't want to get my nose too close to it because it felt extremely like nose tingling in a bad way. But here on the card, as it's dried down a little bit, I actually really like it, and it smells a little bit woodier than I had anticipated. It's also got a nice sweetness about it, almost like the sweetness or the texture of a peach or an apricot. I realized when I got back to the hotel and I was smelling it on a card again that the other thing it reminds me of is L'Eau à la Rose by Maison Francis Kirkjohn. And I've talked about that fragrance twice in my past two videos, actually. So I wanted to confirm for myself that I was not just making that connection because it was something I'd smelled recently. So I actually have the sample, which I just freshly sprayed, of L'Eau à la Rose here to compare. And yeah, I'm not imagining it. This is very similar to this in some ways in that it's fruity, fresh, floral, aquatic. This is all of those things. However, and I don't know if synesthesia is a real thing or if other people feel this way. And a lot of this is to do with marketing as well, so bear with me. But this fragrance reads like a very pink version of this fragrance, which reads to me as kind of like a peach toned fragrance. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but this is a slightly more masculine, slightly more serious, slightly heavier, but still appropriate for summer kind of fragrance. The other thing that I realized is that after I left the store with this card kind of tucked into my hoodie, I kept getting whiffs of it in the air, and this is the thing I always feel about Francis Kirkjohn fragrances, is that they perform so well in the sillage, and that smelled up close, they're not always the most beautiful fragrances, but when you catch a whiff of somebody else's perfume and they're wearing a Kirkjohn creation, they have this real ability to kind of like snag your attention and to be like, ooh, what's that? And I definitely got that with this fragrance. So I'd encourage everybody to go out and try it. If you haven't, I don't think that you should blind buy it or anything, but if you have a store close to you that sells the amazing Christian Dior line of fragrances, definitely give it a try.